Recently, I put out a video on 10 affordable modifications you could make to your tractor, and in the comments, you guys shared a lot of things that you had added to your tractors, some of which I have since put on mine, and some that I already had but didn't include in that video. Let's take a look at those today. So starting here in the front, and this one is not really an upgrade, but rather an attachment, is a grapple. I really do like a grapple. Most of the time, I have my forks on the tractor, and I can do a lot of things that a grapple can with the forks, but you can't move material very well with the grapple. I find it to be kind of a pain in the butt hooking up the hydraulic lines every time you want to use it, so most of the time I don't. But when I've got a lot of cutting to do, a lot of brush to move, recently Gavin was using it to get dam full of sticks out of the creek. Worked real well for that. They are very useful. This one that I have here is a Pinnacle series by Homestead Implements. I really like the clamshell style grapple. I know my friend Jacob, he's got one. He has more of a root grapple where the bottom comes out further, a little more capacity in it. I like this to be able to clamp almost all the way shut and grab little brush, small logs, things like that. I find with the bigger ones, they kind of flop around in there, but I really like the grapple. I think that's an excellent upgraded attachment, anything that just about every tractor owner should have. So in order to run a grapple or any hydraulic implement on the front of your tractor, you're going to need a control for the hydraulics. So on mine, I have a third function joystick here that works the loader up and down, curl and back, but it also has this toggle switch that runs the grapple, and it's got another function here for if you've got a different kind. I think this is a lockout for it, not 100% on that, but this is how I operate the grapple. You can see over here in the front, this is where they hook up. They've got a little bracket to mount them. Pretty common thing to have on a tractor, pretty common way of doing it, but it didn't come with the tractor, so I had to add it on later. So in keeping with the hydraulics, I had an offset flail mower. I don't have it anymore. It was kind of a pain in the butt to use, but I needed a second set of rear hydraulics. I've got one set of remote hydraulics on the back, and I needed another. So I had ordered them from the dealer, and it was kind of when things were funny and things were hard to get, but after about 8 months went by, and they wanted, I don't know, a couple $1,000s for it, plus the money to install it, I finally went online and found one of my own. So I got this set of additional hydraulics from Tractor Innovations. They make a kit for just about every tractor. It goes into your existing hydraulics. It has a diverter valve, so it's going to override your loader, and your loader controls are going to work the hydraulics in the back. I'll show you where those come in. So I've just got them set up here with a zip tie to this bracket, and this is your extra set of hydraulics that's run by your loader arm. I use this to run the mower. I will probably be taking this off. It's a lot of hoses in there and a lot of things to leak. It's not really hurting anything, and it doesn't leak, but I don't have the mower. I don't really have a need for it, and it does go on pretty quick. If I ever bought an attachment to do it, I might just throw it on the shelf. These here, this set of hydraulics is what comes with the tractor. And on mine, it runs off this control here. I wasn't really sure what it was for, but it's got a picture here of a hydraulic cylinder, and the dealer told me, oh, that's for your hydraulic top link, should you choose to add one. I did. So this top link here, I just bought this on Amazon. It was like $175. Pretty inexpensive. It just has two bolt-on lines, and you plug them into your hydraulics here, and then that lever is gonna run this in and out. It's not such a big deal for what I've got on here now. Most of the time, I have this A-frame on the back of the tractor. I use it for pulling my dump trailer and moving other trailers around my yard. But when I have the brush hog on there, or I have a tiller, counterweight, any of the other implements that are, need to run in and out, this is so much easier. Sometimes even with the brush hog, you want to change it on the fly. You don't just set it and forget it. You want to angle it back and forth as you go. This will be real handy. I just got it on here. I tried it out a couple times. It works great, but I'm anxious to see how well it works when we're mowing. So while we're back here, that brings me to this PTO Link. This is a quick attach and disconnect for your PTO. It comes in two halves. Let me see if I can get this off. So you can see here, this has got these 4 nubs, twists in and the pin goes in. It's, they kind of sell it like it's change your life fast. It definitely is, it's nice. I can't even figure out how to use the thing. There we go. And that's about it. It definitely saves a little bit of time. They sell it to where you would buy a whole bunch of this half and put it on all your implements. It does come on and off the implement very easy. So if you just had a couple of your, like the brush hog is what I use it on most of the time, you could kind of keep this half, throw it on the end of your drive shaft while it's still off the tractor, and then you can put it on as you go. It's not really necessary to buy one for every, but that is an option if it's something you like. Mowing in the field down there, sometimes the grass gets to be about head high, and we do a lot of brush and a lot of firewood, and I actually hit this front grill a couple times and dented it. So I saw a couple guys had some different grill guards, and I also saw that this Homestead Implements makes one of their own. So we bought one. It's just 4 bolts and bolts right to the existing bumper. It's a little dirty, and it still folds down, so you can put the hood up and locks in place as well. I think that'll be pretty cool. Looks neat too. Most of you are probably familiar with a quick attach. Oh, that's not the quick attach. Yeah, quick attach. I think this is where this hydraulic top link will really shine, because I can adjust the angle depending on how the implement and its links are sitting on the ground. Sometimes you got to back and forth and mess a little bit with it. So anyone who's spent much time using a tractor knows that ballast is really important. And I've got a huge concrete counterweight that I use for this, but most of the time I've got that A-frame on there with the ball on it for moving trailers. And it just kind of lives back there, probably 90% of the time. So I had ballast put in the tires. Most of you are probably familiar with Rim Guard. It's a non-corrosive. I think it's made out of beet juice. Adds some weight to the back tires. It's heavier than water. It won't freeze. One of you guys in the comments, I don't remember who it was, I was talking about if you got a flat tire, would this just smell like rotten vegetables and just be putrid? And he said, no, I actually did that, and it smells like a salad bar. So I do a lot of field mowing in the back. The back of my property is about a 4-acre field that I brush hog several times a year. And I just had my knee replaced, so sometimes hanging onto the pedal for hours on end starts to bother a little bit. And I found that I ordered this from Metza Machines. It's just a cruise control knob. There was actually a harness underneath there all just waiting for it. I bought the button for like $85 and snapped it in. It literally took like, I don't know, 23 seconds. And now I have cruise control. It's kind of a bougie thing for a tractor, but it's pretty awesome. I really like it. So the last thing I got is this mirror, and I got it from GoodWorks Tractor. The only problem I had is it doesn't come with a bracket. So they have magnetic brackets. They have all kinds of things I found in hindsight, but they don't automatically come with the mirror, so I'm gonna have to order one. I do want a mirror, and I'm not 100% sure where I want it, but I'm often pulling out of my log yard onto my driveway or onto the street. We got a lot of Amazon delivery. Here comes my wife now. I got 3 other drivers besides myself here at my house. Just being able to see behind you is definitely a good option. Most of you are probably familiar with a quick attach. Oh, that's not the quick attach. Yeah, quick attach.